Hi everyone, I hope you all are doing great. Before I start the video, bring a pen and a paper because trust me, you are going to need them. Short stories are a wonderful medium for writers to express creativity, experiment with narrative techniques, and hone their storytelling skills in a condensed format. Writing a short story is an art in itself. Every word matters, and the narrative must engage the reader without the extended build-up that a novel allows. This video will guide you through the essential steps of writing a short story from conception to completion and offer strategies to find fresh ideas for your next story. Why write short stories? Before diving into the mechanics of short story writing, let's explore why they're such an important form of literature. Short stories allow for creative freedom. You can experiment with different genres, voices, and structures without the long-term commitment of a novel. Hone your skills. The brevity of short stories forces writers to focus on clarity, character development, and plot efficiency. Can be written quickly. Many short stories can be drafted, revised, and polished in a relatively short amount of time. Build your portfolio. For aspiring writers, short stories are an excellent way to build a collection of work, enter competitions, or submit to literary journals. Now that you know why short stories are a powerful tool for writers, let's break down the process of crafting one from start to finish. Step 1. Find your story idea. One of the most daunting aspects of writing is finding an idea worth developing. Here are several strategies you can use to spark fresh story ideas. Observe the world around you. Inspiration often comes from observing life's small moments. Pay attention to people, interactions, and your surroundings. Sometimes, a fleeting conversation or a striking image can serve as the kernel for a great story. Exercise. Visit a busy place like a cafe, park, or public transport station, and people watch for 10 to 15 minutes. Take notes on the conversations, body language, and behaviors you observe. Can you imagine a backstory or future for these characters? B. Draw from personal experience. Some of the most compelling stories are based on real-life experiences. Think back on events, people, or emotions that have left a mark on you. While you don't need to retell your experiences exactly as they happened, using personal experiences can add depth and authenticity to your writing. Exercise. Write down 3 memorable events from your life. Then challenge yourself to fictionalize them. How can you twist the facts or add a different layer of meaning? C. Use writing prompts. Sometimes a small push is all you need to get started. Writing prompts are designed to trigger ideas you might not have considered on your own. Exercise. Pick one of these writing prompts and write a short scene. A person wakes up with no memory of the previous day. A traveler arrives in a town where no one can leave. An old letter arrives at the doorstep 50 years after it was sent. D. Ask what if. Many great stories stem from the question, what if? It opens up the possibility for the extraordinary or the unexpected in an otherwise ordinary scenario. Play around with this question to generate unique plot ideas. Exercise. Ask yourself these what if questions to spark an idea. What if a stranger knew everything about your life? What if animals could suddenly communicate with humans? What if you could revisit one day from your past? Step 2. Plan your story structure. Once you've chosen an idea, it's time to shape that idea into a story. In a short story, you have limited space to develop characters and a plot, so planning the structure ahead of time can be helpful. Start with a hook. Your opening line or scene is crucial in grabbing the reader's attention. In a short story, you need to create intrigue quickly. Open with a strong image, an interesting action, or a line of dialogue that immediately makes the reader curious. Example of a hook: the day she disappeared. The sun was too bright for anyone to notice. B. Focus on one main conflict. Short stories typically revolve around a single conflict or central event. Since the format is condensed, there's little room for multiple subplots or complex backstories. Focus on the key issue your protagonist faces and build the story around that conflict. Exercise. Write down the main conflict in a single sentence. This will help you stay focused and keep your story on track. C. Create a structure. Short stories often follow the traditional structure of a story arc. 1. Exposition. Introduce the setting, characters, and central conflict. 2. Rising action. Build tension and complications as the conflict develops. 3. Climax. The point where the conflict reaches its peak. For falling action, the aftermath or resolution of the climax. 5. Conclusion. A final thought, reflection, or twist that leaves a lasting impact. Exercise. Outline your story using this structure. Even if you're not a strict planner, having a rough idea of where the story is going can help guide your writing. Step 3. Develop your characters. Characters are the heart of any story, no matter the length. In short stories, character development must be efficient yet impactful. Focus on one or two main characters. In a short story, you don't have space for a large cast of characters. Focus on one or two main characters and ensure they are well developed. Exercise. Write a character profile for your protagonist. Include details like their appearance, personality, background, and what they want in the story. B. Show, don't tell. Rather than explaining a character's personality, show it through their actions, dialogue, and reactions. This technique creates a more immersive reading experience and lets readers infer the character's traits. Example, instead of saying, Maria was nervous, show her biting her lip, pacing back and forth, or stammering in conversation. C. Give your character a goal. Every character should want something. This desire is what drives the plot forward. Whether it's something physical, like finding a lost item, or emotional, like earning someone's approval, your protagonist's goal will shape their actions and decisions. Exercise. Write down your protagonist's goal and how they intend to achieve it. What obstacles stand in their way? Step 4. Write the first draft. With a strong idea, a clear structure, and developed characters, you're ready to write your first draft. Remember, the first draft is about getting your ideas down on paper. It doesn't have to be perfect. Write in scenes. Short stories thrive on economy of language. Instead of telling your story in long, descriptive passages, try breaking it into scenes. Scenes allow you to show action and dialogue in a more dynamic way, moving the story forward efficiently. B. Use specific details. In a short story, every detail should serve a purpose. Instead of using vague descriptions, be specific. Instead of writing the room was messy, say clothes were strewn across the bed and half-filled coffee cups line the windowsill. Specific details create a more vivid and engaging story. C. Don't over-explain. Since you're working with a limited word count, trust your reader to fill in the blanks. Avoid over-explaining character motivations or plot points. Let readers infer meaning from subtext and dialogue. Step 5. Revise and edit. Once you've written your first draft, it's time to revise. Editing a short story is a critical part of the process, and it can make the difference between a good story and a great one. Tighten your prose. Short stories thrive on tight, concise language. During the revision process, look for any unnecessary words, sentences, or scenes that can be cut or condensed. Every word should serve a purpose. B. Strengthen your characters. Review your characters to ensure their actions, dialogue, and motivations feel authentic and consistent. If a character doesn't feel fully fleshed out, revise their scenes to add more depth and complexity. C. Focus on the ending. The ending of a short story should leave a lasting impact on the reader. Whether it's a twist, a revelation, or a quiet moment of reflection, the conclusion should feel satisfying, even if it's open-ended. D. Read aloud. Reading your story aloud can help you catch awkward phrasing, repetitive language, or pacing issues. Hearing your story in your own voice can also help you identify areas that need tightening or clarification. Conclusion: keep practicing and experimenting. Writing short stories is an excellent way to refine your skills and explore new ideas. By following the steps outlined in this video, you'll be well on your way to creating compelling, concise stories that capture readers' attention. Most importantly, don't be afraid to experiment with different genres, structures, and themes. The more you write, the more you'll discover what resonates with your unique voice as a writer. And that was it for today. I hope it was helpful to you guys. See you all in the next video, and thank you very much for watching.